Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We are live. Team
Um,
YDNA and none other than YDNA himself. I'm not going to wait for people to join the stream. I'm going to get right into it.
Now, wait a minute.
Tonight, we're talking about the influence of YDNA in the amplifier community. Our gang reigns supreme as far as what is pushing the influence in this community. All right, so let's think about this. Last week, I brought up Carl Fusion Bear influencing Friedman, Jakey Lee, 50. All right. So I own that amp. It's called the Millennium Falcon. Red Tolex, 50 watt, Plexi, JCM 800 on a switch. I bought that thing, what, 8 years ago? Carl Fusion Bear, you need to tell your story. I uncovered another coincidence last week. Welcome. Welcome in the chat. I uncovered another coincidence last week. But that will have to come later in this story. Because this story, man, as far as amp building community goes, I think Andy is going to have to come up with a new song, kind of like Meth Head Joe, about how low can you go. This is a story of a man that knows about as much as I do, who buys a Mojo Tone kit, assembles it with the help of someone like this guy, and thinks, okay, I got it. Time to start my amp brand. That is not how these things work, okay? So, the Mojo Tone kit that I bought, which became the amp that you see behind me, I think I got it for $575 shipped with tax. $575. Okay? And I couldn't figure it out because it wasn't demonstrated in the documents correctly. And
Yo, you're a piece of shit, and woke. Why you
switched
even
that
here,
up,
motherfucker?
and they had to correct themselves. All right? But
John, that motherfucker needs to be removed from your channel, man.
look, okay, I need to have my train of thought here. Andy and I worked on 2 Mojo Tone kits in the spring of last year because it is a new year. Happy New Year, everyone. All right. So, Mojo Tone
You
had
are
to
a piece of shit,
change their
motherfucker.
documentation because of the work that we did together. And anyone that bought a 50-watt Marshall or a 50-watt high watt looked at the videos that we did together over the past 6 months, without a doubt. Additionally, Mojo had to change their documentation, their attachments, because of the work that we did. Okay? That's not up for debate. That happened.
Wait,
Now,
put your train of thought on fucking pause for a second, because this motherfucker needs to be eradicated. He is reporting my fucking channel. He was on a live stream the other day, falsely reporting my fucking channel, saying, "Dude, he's gonna get revenge on me." You don't deserve to be in the same room as me, motherfucker. Right? You're a pile of fucking dog shit and woke. I don't even know why John has you as blue. You don't even you don't even get the chance. You shouldn't even be able to view this, man. You're a piece of shit. That's all I'm saying. Continue on, John. Fuck that piece of shit, motherfucker.
okay. Yeah, sorry, man. I make everybody blue around here.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't make my enemies blue, dude. That's a bad thing. Remember what happened to Luann when she did it?
Okay, so to get back to this, if you are making Mojo kits over the past 6 months, 9 months, especially 50-watt Marshalls, you will be watching his videos with me. So, about 10 months ago, I bullied, okay? And hey, it's been a while. I'm not doing it right now. I'm not bullying somebody right now, but I bullied someone. And it was none other than Tracy Guns, who considers himself a founder of Guns N' Roses, when in reality, yeah, Tracy Guns, yeah, you might have known some guys in Guns N' Roses. Um, and then a founder of LA Guns. Okay, well, what songs did LA Guns have? Okay, we got the Ballad of Jane. All right. Well, how did that go? Was that something like "There's No One Home in My House of Pain"? Oh no, that was another song that was actually a hit. Um, the Ballad of Jane, was that about Jane's addiction? Oh no, that was a band that actually had some hits. So what is this band LA Guns about? The band LA Guns is about, we were friends with real rock stars, but um, you know, we don't really have any songs. That's the truth. Okay, so Andy, let me cook. Let me cook, my man. So LA Guns. Oh, they were a part of Guns N' Roses? Not really. Um, oh, they did the Ballad of Jane. Was that about Jane's addiction? No, that's another band that actually had some songs. Was that There's No One Home in My House of Pain? No, that was an actual cool song. Um, Here's another one. Was that about She Talks to Angels? Nah, that was a hit song by the Black Crowes. But no, whatever LA Guns did, It didn't really do its thing, man. Okay? So, Tracy. Tracy. And then Tracy went on to say that he's starting a band with Lippy Sinks from Motley. All right, so if you know about Motley from '89, we're talking Dr. Feelgood to 2020 when they got called out for it. All the gang vocals, all the background vocals, all the hey ho, all that stuff. Wild side, yeah, he would stand up to a mic from '89 to 2020. He would stand up to a mic and he would go wild side, and the PA would play the recorded track. Okay, I'm sorry, Lippy Sinks. People talk about your bass playing. I'm not going to go into the bass playing, man. I'm just talking about the Lippy Sinks. All right. It's not Nikki Six. It's Lippy Sinks. All right. So Tracy, I was friends with Axel for a couple months in 1985. Tracy, I was friends with Lippy Sinks in 2000. Look, man, that you had this band, the Brides of Destruction, in 2000. I think you probably were looking around at the Queens of the Stone Age, right? 29 Palms, the desert area. Yeah, they had this band, Queens of the Stone Age. So you guys thought, oh, so there's a Queens of the Stone Age out in Palm Springs, 29 Palms. Oh, okay. Well, here in Hollywood, we're going to do Brides of Destruction. Look, that went nowhere. And the whole thing about Tracy Guns is like guns, like Guns N' Roses. Like I'm friends with Lippy Sinks from Motley. So you just like friends with people and shit. You don't have a song, you know. Here's the deal. Tracy, I'm sorry, man. I called you out on on videos about the Marshall origin. You were just like, "Hey, this sounds just like a vintage Marshall, man. I'm cranking it." And you were cranking this vintage Marshall. Yeah, that's a Marshall origin. Man, the lowest common denominator, the cheapest parts, the cheapest labor. Let's exploit third world countries and give artists in first world countries stuff that doesn't inspire them. All right, so Tracy Guns is sitting here saying, "Oh, I'm Tracy Guns," just like Guns N' Roses. Well, here I am. I'm rocking out with the Marshall origin. Man, this is vintage Marshall tone.
That's what he is.
And so
Don't copyright me, man. I'm restreaming your shit.
I weighed in 10 months ago. I said, the Marshall origin is PCB junk. You can do better. And then he replied, here comes the first loudmouth asshole to blah, 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 to call me out about this amp rocks and fuck you, type thing. Um, okay. Look, I'm not a player hater. And this is the reason why I influenced you, Tracy Guns. I'm not a player hater. I just expect more. Okay? I
Click the
want
link.
better from
I don't want to see nobody in this
amplifier
live feed.
companies.
Click the link and go over here and watch.
I want better. And you do too. And hey, we could come to an understanding on this shit, man. You can shred on guitar. You're a badass player. I give you props, okay? But here's the deal. You were showing Bugaras, you were showing Martial Origins, you were showing
Click the fucking
Black
link,
Star,
motherfuckers. I'm on there.
and you were like, man, this shit's badass. And then I said to you, I said, get a real amp. And I must have, I must have touched something within you.
I touch myself when everybody's around me.
It really must have struck a note.
The high note, the G string.
And then all of a sudden, you're making Mojo Tone kits, slapping your sticker on the front of it, and saying, oh, this is Tracy Guns handmade. Bro, I could get the 50-watt British 50 Mojo Tone kit for $575 shipped, no tax, no nothing. So if you buy 10 of them at a time and you say, hey, I'm Tracy Guns, founding member of Guns N' Roses, and I also know Lippy Sinks,
Go to the link.
I bet Mojo Tone
I'm
gives
on there
you
live.
quite a discount. But you're building by number, you're painting by numbers. You're just making a Mojo Tone kit, putting your name on the front, and then selling it for, I haven't seen the prices yet, but I can imagine what they are. Now here's another coincidence meeting, okay? Last week we saw the Custom 400 made by this guy getting ripped off by another amp company.
I wouldn't say it's getting ripped off. You just
Nah. It's getting ripped off. It's a great promotional one-off project for a tube amp company. The Custom 400 is getting ripped off by the Custom 700. Benson. All right? Benson. The same dude who dropped Ryan Adams when his ex-girlfriends assembled a witch's coven and said, he was bad to us. Benson.
listen, man. If I don't like you, motherfucker,
Benson,
I don't like you. You don't get a chance to come to my fucking channel, man, and just run your mouth and lie and report, dude. Shut the fuck up, dude. There's no integrity in lies. You piece of shit. Suck my dick.
look, the people that are reporting this right now, they're not guitar players. If you're not a guitar player, get the fuck out of here. This is a nerd group.
Right.
This is a very singular hobby group. If you're here for chaos, get the fuck out of here. Look, so Benson and Josh Scott of JHS. You guys love to be part of that New York Times article in 2019 eviscerating Ryan Adams, who Okay, so he's a fucking asshole. He's a, I don't know what. He's spoiled. He's a spoiled child. Okay, well, this dude writes great songs, has great productions. If you care about music, what the fuck are you trying to? Well, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to stay in the business. You're trying to be keep the ball rolling, keep the money rolling. Oh, and put your name in the article to say, oh yes, JHS and Benson Amps have revoked their endorsement of this man because he was mean to these women. Man, okay, so 7 years later, this ain't aging well. All right? And I'm not trying to say that Ryan Adams isn't a little spoiled brat because he's been a recognized, respected artist since he was probably 20 years old. Um, and there's been people around him saying, "Oh, yes, we think we can make money off of you. Let's, you know." He's had managers since he was like 20 years old because the guy can write songs and he's super talented. But man, you guys, you dropped him because you got exposure in that big New York Times article. So fuck you guys. So Benson, Benson got the Tracy Guns Mojo Tone kit serial number one, which had a little message to Benson written on the chassis saying, "Hey, you're my number one guy," or whatever. Well, why would Benson want that amp? Now, he wouldn't want that amp. That's an amp manufacturer.
I'm on a
Tracy
live stream
Guns
with
sent
Team
that to
Whiting.
Benson to thank him for the work that he did putting the 50-watt kit together the first few times. After you paint by numbers and put it together the first few times, you're off to the races. Okay?
He didn't do
That's
it.
the
How do you
relationship I
know?
had with this guy
How do you know that he's done it a few times, John? How do you know?
because that's the amp that he's selling.
Right, but how do you know he only didn't do it once and then decided he was gonna? How many times do you know he's really done it?
What are you even
But
talking about?
Tracy Guns, how do you know that he's only built more than one amp? How do you know he only built one amp and now he wants to create a production out of the amp that he built? How do you know that he
Well,
built two
he
or
might
three?
have some minimum wage employees to be to be generous. He might have some minimum wage employees to be generous, but it's probably just him saying, "Oh, okay, I know how to build this 50-watt kit. I can build this erector set 100 times over and sell it for 3,500 when I buy it for 575 from Mojotone." Well,
So what you're saying? He's a poser and he doesn't know what he's fucking doing and he has no business creating an amp company when he's only building fucking Lego kits.
he's building Lego kits and um, yeah, it's that's not how it works in the amp gang.
No, that's not how it works. Look, when I first started designing amps was about like 7 years ago, but I also had, I don't know, 13 years of amp building experience behind me, meaning I built the kits, almost every kit that you could. I also ventured away from kits and started building amps, man, right? Looking at schematics, looking at layouts, buying my own parts, man, putting things together, learning how circuits work. It's taken 13 years to get to the point where you can start really designing your own product. So if somebody's taken a amplifier that is known and they're building it, you're a poser, man. You're not an amp builder. Anybody can build an amp. Anybody can build an amp. Everybody can't design an amp, and everybody can't be an artist. You know, so
Well, you're taking it further than I am. You're saying to be an amp company, you need to design your layout and
yeah,
choose your components, so on and so forth. I'm saying,
yeah.
look, if you just buy Mojotone kits, assemble them, and put a
You,
badge on the
you
front
can
of
put
the
the
amp and
you can put
say,
the brake.
"This
You can
is
put the
Johnny's classic
nah.
amps,"
You can put
that's
the
not
brakes.
a business. That's
You can
not a
put the
business. You can
listen. You
no
can put the
amp builder
brakes,
is going
John.
to agree with that. That's a
Look at
business.
it. You can take the brakes right there and look what Friedman's done. All he's done is stole Marshall's fucking amps over and over and over. Used Jose mods, dude. This mod, that mod. Dude, Friedman is a pile of shit thief, dude. He's not an amp designer. The motherfucker couldn't build an amp if you fucking paid him. He's an
Okay,
obese, balding, fucking
but
mohawk looking motherfucker that looks like
Friedman
he has.
didn't buy Mojotone kits.
How do you know that? How the fuck he didn't? I guarantee
Well,
he did.
okay, I'm sorry. Friedman makes his own copies.
He's
He's
a
not.
thief. He's a fucking thief, man. And so wasn't Bruce Egnater. He went to Randall and worked for Randall and then stole products from Randall and made his own company. Learned the PRing, learned how to distribute, learned how to manufacture in a cheap way so he could make profit. Fucking abandoned Randall, fucking crippled Randall when he left. Man, that's Egnater for you. And now he takes no responsibility for his products. He also is a thief, man.
Hmm.
Silver spoon fed motherfuckers. So the guy you're talking about is no different, man. He has money, he has no integrity, and he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, man. He's
But
a
this one
thief.
is kind of interesting because he's buying Mojotone kits blatantly.
Yeah.
And if you look at his Instagram, okay, he's just making Mojotone kits, putting a little stamp on the front of the amp and saying, "Oh, custom hand built by Tracy."
Well, it's because he's famous, man, and people will buy it because of his name. People are followers, dude. You know, he's already well recognized in the guitar world. He's already famous, so why not pop an amp out, dude? If he shits an amp out of his ass, dude, people are gonna fucking want to follow him because people are posers, man. You know? Is it right? It's not right. It's not quality. It's junk, man. Anybody can go buy a fucking Mojo Tone kit, man. Anybody can do that. It doesn't make you jack shit, man. Dude, I
So
could
I
fucking teach a
remember
second
when
grader.
this started. So the singer of LA Guns is named Phil Lewis. All right. Phil Lewis showed um, on his Facebook channel, he showed that holy shit,
I'm on a live stream.
Tracy
Click the link. See that link
made
down there? I'm
a
on a live stream
Marshall
with this guy.
on the tour bus, and it's Tracy at a table on the tour bus with the amp
Listen,
assembled,
fucking click the link inside this
and all the
fucking video.
comments were like, "Oh
You'll
my
see what's going on.
god, this guy is a genius." Um, wow, like he can do it on the fly. Like, wow, they're in a bus and he built an amazing amplifier.
If you don't click the link, you won't be able to see me and him in the same stream. I'm on a stream. This stream right here is for you to go over here and watch the content. This is not you. I don't give a fuck about this stream right here. It's the one that I'm on over here. It's to support Team Y DNA. They asked a question. I had to answer. You go fuck
So
yourself, motherfucker.
Phil Lewis, the singer of LA Guns, he showed a photo of Tracy. Oh, Tracy was like, "Oh yeah," in front of a table on their tour bus with a finished 50-watt Mojotone kit. and 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 Phil Lewis had something in the comment about, oh yeah, he's like Nikola Tesla. He's like, Albert Einstein. Bro, you're playing with an erector set for adults.
Yeah, you see this? This take me 20, 19, 18 years to do. This is a product of a mind. This is no replica. This is a pure hybrid, pure motherfucking high fidelity circuit that I designed for this man right here. I designed it. There's only one in the world like it. There's only one that ever will be made. This is it. This is what amplifier building is about. Not fucking copying. That is love. That is work. That is awesomeness. That is epicness. And I threw this motherfucker out of a fucking 2-story fucking building for quality control. Covered in snow. Turned it on 2 minutes later, and it sounds beautiful. Right? Show me an amplifier you can chuck out of a window in snow, get completely saturated with snow. Snow melts, gets completely wet. I gave it a bath, man. What John's saying.
We know that Mr. Benson and Mr. Guns are watching right now, so we want to try that with one of your amps? Probably not. Yeah.
Yeah, try it, dude. I might be unorthodox, but you know what? Try it. Let's take your fucking Chinese piece of shit PCB hand wired amps that you claim, throw it out of a window.
Oh
Let's see
no.
how far it gets.
Tracy uses Mojotone Chinese turret board amps.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about Mr. Benson. You want to talk about Mr. Benson, the poser, the loser, the copycat?
The Custom 700?
Want to talk about that for a minute? KT88s. Let's talk about a KT88, and let's talk about the specifications of a KT88, and let's get a tape measure out if I have one here. We do have one here, which is good.
I see the
This
Custom 400 back there.
But
what about Benson's Custom 700?
Well, I'm going to tell you about this custom 700. We're going to get a tape measure. We're going to pull it out so that it's as big as my penis, which is about 8 inches. All right. Now look, the proper spacing center to center has to be 4 inches. You see, that's 4.5 inches, dude, on both the horizontal and the vertical fucking plane. It has to be 4 inches. Now, I talked to this dude, Mr. Benson. Nobody follows those. Nobody follows the specifications on a tube. That's bullshit. Because there's specifications on a tube for dissipation, heat dissipation. What does it mean? A tube is allowed to dissipate as much heat as it's rated for. A KT88 is 42 watts. That means it can dissipate 42 watts of heat. If you have improper spacing, you're going to create more than 42 watts of heat dissipation. Meaning, if you place those tubes closer together, the less dissipation you're going to be able to get. Your tubes are going to over fucking heat. If the tubes overheat, they are going to break early. The tube amp might work for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, who knows how long. But if you bring them closer together, they're not going to properly be able to cool themselves down, and you're burning the filaments out of them. You're burning the plates out of them. It's not good. Well, Mr. Benson says Macintosh does it. Ampeg does it. I don't give a fuck what they do. That's why they break. And that's why they're shit. Then he says, show me a company that does it right here. Y-DNA amplification. I do it. You know why I do it? Because it says to in the tube specs, we build amplifiers based on the tube. A tube amplifier is based on the tube. Then we design around that tube. We design around the plate, the plate resistance that tube is going to see to the output transformer. We design to the maximum voltage that plate's going to see for the headroom. The more voltage towards maximum is going to be the more headroom, more wattage. We also design for plate dissipation. This motherfucker is telling me he's going to get 700 watts out of fucking 14 KT88s. No, maybe 500, 520. He's full of shit. It's a marketing ploy. He is a fucking false tube amp builder. He's a poser. In my opinion, he's a liar and he's a scam artist, man. This is nothing more than a marketing ploy for him to grow. Mr. Benson, you're a fraud. I'm telling you that right now.
Well, he was also the recipient of Tracy's serial number 1 Mojo Tone 50-watt Marshall.
Yeah. Well, how cool could Tracy be to be in communications with a man that looks like Mr. Benson? Not very cool at all.
Well, if you were building a 50-watt Marshall Mojo Tone sometime over the past 9 months, you would be watching videos by this guy.
Suck a dick.
He changed
Suck
the
a dick, motherfucker.
documentation from Mojo Tone. So these two coincidences are no longer coincidences. If it was one or the other, but nah. If you're making a business of making Mojo Tone 50-watt Marshalls and you started in the past 6-9 months, you're watching his videos with me. And this whole thing about, oh yeah, let's make a 400, 500, 600, 700 watt amplifier as like a promotional, like the loudest tube amp ever made.
For one, he's going to have to go with like
this guy again.
Been there. I made a 600 watt amplifier before, man. I actually made an amplifier not too long ago. Some dude has it in California. It has 12 KT or 12 EL34s. Extremely loud of an amplifier. I built an amp with 8 KT88s. Look, man, I don't give a fuck if you have 14 of them or not. You're not going to have it. And that leads me to another problem, John. Transformer power. Now, let me explain this to you. And I want to say this because a lot of people argue with me over this. A 6L6 has a filament amp current rating of 900 milliamps. Okay? An EL34 has a filament rating of 1.5 amps. It is almost double. Now, this is the problem. Mr. Benson says after we get through the transformer on its secondaries, the secondary only size sees less than 1 amp. Well, if that's the case, Mr. Stupid Fuck, why can't you put EL34s in a fucking twin reverb, motherfucker? Because if you take twin reverbs are a 6L6 amp, right? Four, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 6L6s equal right around 3,200 3.2 amps, right? 4 EL34s is 6 amps. It is more than, it's double. If you put EL34s in a 6L6 amp, you will blow the power transformer. Why? Because there's too much current being drawn through the fucking heaters. Now, this guy's saying that's not true. It only sees 1 amp of current. Bullshit, motherfucker. A tube has a rating for a reason, dude. Period. Maybe the transformer only has that draw on the primary side, but it doesn't mean the secondary side doesn't require the draw. Those tubes are going to draw, man, on the secondary side, no matter what. So don't tell me. So how is this guy going to get heaters? Let's do the math for a second. What is 14 times 1.5? Do you know what that number is? Well, 10 times 1.5, 14. Somebody do the math for me. What's 14? What is it, John? I don't want to fucking do the math.
24.
24 amps. Is that what? It's not what it is.
I'm just spitballing.
Here, I'll look on my phone. Let me open a calculator. Open calculator. Open calculator. So look, 1.5 amps per tube times, it's actually 1.6. So let me just, it's 1.6 for the KT88 times 14. You're going to record 22.4. You're going to need 22.4 amps of current to power those heaters. And there's not a transformer out there in the world that you can buy as a consumer that will be able to produce that much. So what's he going to do? Put 2 extra transformers in it for filament windings? It's not going to happen. It's not going to fucking happen, man. Also, the current rating. Let's take a look at the current rating. Let me see if I can find my calculator again. Open
I think
calculator.
Chris Benson was vague enough that he's going to do whatever he needs to do.
Open calculator. So look, an EL or a KT88 requires about 155 milliamps, dude, of current. That is 0.155 amps. We're going to multiply that by 14. He is going to need 2.17 amps for HT just on the fucking tubes, right? That's not the screens. That's just the plates. So what he's telling me is that's not true. He's not that transformer that he needs. So he needs a transformer that can handle 22 amps of current for the heaters, 2.2 amps just for the fucking plates, probably another 570 milliamps for the screen. So we're going to break that up to about 2.7 amps of B plus. So he's going to need almost 3 amps of B plus current. He's going to need fucking 22.2 amps of heater current. That transformer is going to be this big. It's going to weigh 110 pounds. And it's not going to be one that you can buy. They don't make them. And even if he does get away with that, what's he going to do about the output transformer? Dude, because they only make a 300 watt output transformer. He said it's 700 watts. That thing's going to weigh another fucking 250 pounds. Now, he lied to me. He said, I'm having my transformers custom made. I call bullshit, dude. I bet you're going to Hammond and getting the biggest transformer you possibly can, and you're going to throw it in there. That's never going to put out the output he desires. So to get the output he desires, you're going to need to buy 2 of these transformers, which I have right here. So for the power, he's going to need 2 of these. He's going to need 2 379 WXs. And I guarantee you, when I see this amp bill, I see 2 379 WXs. Still not enough power, buddy. Still underrated, man. And that's not even talking about the output transformers. Now you're going to have to parallel them together. So you're going to need 200 watt transformers, man. Or sorry, 200 pound transformers for what you desire. That's going to be 200 pounds of output transformers, another 100 pounds of fucking power transformer. That's 300 pounds your amp's going to, it's going to weigh 300 pounds. Now, I have a problem with that because I see a chassis that he made out of 16 gauge steel. There's no way 300-pound transformers are going to withstand to sit on top of this. You're going to need 1/8-inch steel plate to hold that weight at a minimum. Do the science, motherfucker, right? So his shit is nothing more than to fucking have it sit on a bench somewhere and to say that he did something that he didn't do. To me, that's what I see from him, man.
Well, I'm sure he's listening right now and he's taking notes and he's going to make this work from your. From
Dude, what happened to my
your
stream?
tips.
He's not going to make it work. It's not going to work, dude. He can't make it work. It's not possible for him without military technology.
Maybe we'll go from the custom 7 to the custom 5.
It's not going to be 500 though, dude. It will never be 500. It can't be 500. Not for his specifications, what he had stated. I would be surprised if it got fucking 250 watts with all them tubes, the way he builds amps. I'd be surprised. You know, I see companies all the time. Look at the Soldano Slow 30, dude. It's a 30-watt amplifier. What do they use for power tubes? 6L6s. 6L6s, the 6L6 GT, or is a 30 fucking watt tube. Man, meaning you only need one. So why you make a push-pull amplifier, dude, with two 6L6s? That would be 60 watts, right? It's not called a slow 60. It's a slow 30. So why did you use 6L6s? Because what you've done is you've tuned those tubes super cold. You sterilize the amplifier. It's going to sound like dog shit, man. You could have chose a better amplifier, man. Simple as that. Simple as that. I ain't fucking up, scumbag. Stay off my dick. So the same thing with this Benson. He ain't doing what he's telling you he's doing, man. There's just the science doesn't, the math don't math, man. Doesn't math, man. I've already told him this, and he knows. What he does, I don't give a fuck. John knows more about it than I do.
Doubt it.
You know about him and what's going on.
Hmm. All right. Well, this has been an interesting evening of coincidences. And now I'll pass it off to YDNA to start his own stream.